Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is a quick update on Wonder Woman's box office. As you can see, the actual figures were given for Sunday, and they're a little bit lower than the projections, the estimates that Box Office Mojo had for it. So its domestic gross is $395,244,373, which is a little bit less than the projections before. And also, as you look at the worldwide Kume, this number here, the foreign box office, was the same. It stays the same. It has not been increased for reasons unknown to me. I think it should be increased, but whatever. And so this figure is also a little bit lower because this number here, the domestic, is a little bit lower. So it's $788,644,373. Now, in terms of all-time domestic box office, where does that lead us to? That leads us to it still being between Frozen and Guardians of the Galaxy. So it still stays at the 27th position. And it's basically chasing down Frozen at this point in time. In terms of the worldwide box office, you can see that it is a little bit lower than it was projected to be. It was supposed to surpass Fast and Furious 6, take that spot, the 67th spot, because there was a glitch, so it was saying 69th. But now it's just below Fast and Furious 6, at least at the time that they were looking at the projections for Sunday. Monday's probably past it already. Okay? Now, having said that, I'm going to show you why that is so. They had projected that the weekend box office gross would have been 3.6 million, a drop of minus 22%. You can see it's actually 3.3 million, a drop of minus 27.5%. So that's the basic reason why this box office is a little bit lower. It's just slightly lower, but it's still moving at a really crazy trajectory. And what this means is that probably the next weekend, if it has a 30% drop, 35% drop, 36% drop, this is about, will be somewhere between 1.8 and 2 point something million. Okay? So if you factor that in, and then you factor in that it makes on a weekly basis, you can look at the weekly figures to see what's happening. So the last weekly figure, it made $7.5 million during the week. You slash that by 50%, you're looking at $4 million during the week. So if it makes $4 million during the week, and let's say it makes, I'm just doing conservative figures here, 1.5 million, it's basically going to cross 4 million this coming weekend. So by weekend, the 10th weekend, which is this weekend here, it will cross $4 million. So this movie is on course to cross $4 million. With the most conservative figures, you're still going to end up with a number that crosses $4 million. All right, and that's pretty impressive. Okay, so even 3.75 million. Let's just say the weekend they make half this amount. All right, they make $1.5 million, $1.6 million, $1.7 million, right? 3.5 and 1.7 or 1.5 gives us $5 million. So this movie will cross $4 million by the end of this weekend. And it's into chasing down, and that's just minimal it's going to do. And it's going to be chasing down, it'll forget chasing down Frozen. It'll be chasing down whatever is next after Frozen, which will be, what would that be? In domestic figures. So it'll chase down Frozen, and it'll be chasing down Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. Alright, that's what it'll be doing next. The following week. Now, if they keep this movie only in cinemas for 12 weeks, then that means that we're only going to, it's only going to go so far. I mean, it may not pass Spider-Man. It may, because we have to see how it progresses week by week, right? The other thing is that even if they keep it in cinemas for 12 weeks, the minimum, not 14, which I hope they do, keep it for 14. If they keep it for 14, it passes Spider-Man. Zip, and it'll be chasing down the Hunger Games. I don't know if it'll pass the Hunger Games. But the thing is, even if they don't do that, and they open it back up in the fall because they're trying to get Wonder Woman to go for an Oscar run, domestically, I can't talk about worldwide, but domestically, this movie is guaranteed to make a couple, $8 or $9 million more. So wherever it stops, even if it stops at 4.2 million, let's say, and it gets $8 or $9 million more, it's somewhere in the realm above Iron Man 3, chasing down Toy Story. Okay? If they keep it for 14 weeks, definitely it'll blow past $4 million, blow past Spider-Man. It may get it'll be chasing down the Hunger Games. Maybe it'll get past the Hunger Games. Maybe it may just creep up. It might not pass Captain America Civil War. I don't think it can do that. But you open it back up in the fall and it gets $8 or $9 million more, and you're talking about $27 million in all, $427 million in all, which will carry it past the Hunger Games to the 16th spot. It won't be chasing down E.T., but I mean, that's really good, okay? If it makes anything up there, that's incredible. I remember this superhero origin film, right? Internationally, I'm hoping also it can pass Sam Raimi's Spider-Man and do some serious damage in creating that gap between Sam Raimi's Spider-Man and both domestically and internationally, and just establish this character Wonder Woman in this movie, this franchise of Wonder Woman. When it comes to superhero movies, Wonder Woman is the #1 franchise out there. That's what I want to happen. So we'll see. I don't know. We'll see what happens, right, guys? On that note, you guys have a great one.